What is up, Xeno Gaming? Back here with a video after a very long time on the sidelines. I'm back here to make content. Today we have the British Grand Prix around Silverstone circuit. As you can see from the introduction, it is going to be a wet practice and qualifying. The race, however, is dry. As you can see on screen now, we are picking a new rivalry that we need, and we picked Devon Butler. And also to note, the Austrian race played that a while back, and I didn't have any footage of it. I'm not sure what happened, but I did manage to finish 6th. I honestly couldn't tell you how that happened or what happened in that race, but that's what happened. Anyway, looking at the performance graph right now, we're 4th from the bottom, so we're better than Alfa, Renault, and Williams. Renault are really struggling, the second worst car on the grid at the minute, and we're just it's a very tight bunch though between Racing Point all the way down to Renault, so very close. As you can see from the driver's standing, Sebastian Vettel has got a lead over his teammate Leclerc, and the Ferraris are quite a bit ahead at the minute, and that's our results from this current season. So I also don't have any footage from France either. So anyway, now moving into, this is practice, and you can just see how the conditions, they're not so great to start, and I'm a guy who doesn't necessarily like driving in these kind of conditions, and we make a mistake here, just proving how tricky it is to start the weekend not in the best conditions. Anyway, skipping all the way through practice, we managed to beat all our practice programs, so that was a real positive for us, and quite easily, I say, when the track acclimatization was a bit difficult in the wet, but anyway, we're going to qualify now. Welcome to qualifying for the British Grand Prix, a wet qualifying, unfortunately for us, for me, and you can see I'm struggling with the car going through Klopp's corner, losing the back end at a relatively high speed corner. And again, going through the Maggots and Beckett's, losing the back end, just struggling. Look at it again, just absolutely feel like I had no grip. I hate driving in this kind of weather, especially with when you're trying to put in a qualifying lap, you got to run in high engine modes. You generate a lot of wheel spin, and I'm just not very comfortable on the brakes in these conditions because you can't really fully brake. You kind of just got to be very gentle, and just doesn't suit what I. No, I'm not very good at it. Let's put it that way. We go off again at club, come around to try and see how close we can get to Hamilton's time, but we are absolutely nowhere near it. A 52, so coming again next lap, sliding the car through this last complex, just absolutely feel like I had no grip once again. Look at that, no grip, just sliding the back end, sliding all the way through the last corner, and we improved the time, but we do not improve position as we got Grosjean behind us. Luckily, as we slide it through turn 1 again, luckily for us, that weather was improving, and towards the end of the session now, this is the last 30 seconds, we're able to get onto the intermediate tyre, and I feel a lot much more comfortable in the intermediate compared to a full wet. Still tricky, but I feel more comfortable in becoming here now down the hanger straight. Looking to improve on P20, we do not want to start from the back, looking to get into Q2. Gasly currently having the quickest time. We run a little bit wide out at Stowe, breaking into club, able to negotiate it a lot better, a lot smoother. As we come around the final corner to set an improved lap time. I can't say the lap time because the box, but we are only P17 for the British Grand Prix. So, unfortunately, 17th for us on the grid. It is with our teammate Albon getting through to Q2. We weren't able to quite. I can't really tell the times here, but we were able to at least beat Raikkonen and the two Williams. I think beating Raikkonen is a positive. But yeah, 16th on the grid. We'll now go to the race. Welcome to the 2020 British Grand Prix here today from Silverstone. We are starting P16 on the grid after Daniel Ricciardo takes a grid penalty to drop him to P20. Charles Leclerc will start from pole position today with Pierre Gasly in second. Leclerc looking to close the gap to Vettel in the championship, who starts in P6 today. Should be a one-stop strategy today here for this circuit, as a soft to medium. The tyre wear isn't too bad around here. The front left tyre does take a bit of a pounding though, so we've got to watch out for that. As we should have a good race today. I felt pretty good around here in the dry, not so much in the wet. That's why there's the poor qualifying. So we'll hope to from 16th be able to score some points. Anyway, here are the 5 red lights. And it's go for the British Grand Prix. Decent start, but not as good as Stroll, who's able to pull alongside Hulkenberg around the outside. We go into turn 1, they're going a bit slow. We have to check up on the brakes. Managed to stay ahead of Raikkonen. Don't lose position now. Is going to turn 3 as we just follow Stroll. Are we not quite close enough here? We're going to have a little look into turn 4, but nothing doing. As now we go down the straight for the very first time. I'm not sure what the straight's called, to be honest. I know the other straight's called the Hangar Straight. Anyway, as we come in to I can't remember what this corner's called at the minute, and Stroll still ahead. We look for the outside cut back as we come through here, but nothing doing as we go on the run to Copse for the first time. One of the best corners in Formula 1, able to just almost take it flat in qualifying. You are pretty much able to take it flat, so it's an exciting corner. So now we come through Maggots and Beckett's, and we're still stuck behind Stroll. Nothing doing here on this first lap. As we now come onto the Hangar Straight for the first time. Very close, a very tightly bunched train, and the Honda power engine isn't enough against the Mercedes engine. We're doing enough though to keep Raikkonen behind, but not enough to gain on Stroll. As we now come into club though for the first time, and Stroll, we're able to get down his inside, make the move stick. Unfortunately, I have it in a low ERS here, and Stroll's going to have a go on the straight, but we managed to hold it around the outside just nicely, and we maintain P15. So now we look ahead to Nico Hulkenberg as the next target in this race. And here we go until lap 3 now, so taking a lap to get right behind him, and a bit of a train here with the two Haas's, Hulkenberg and my teammate. So this is a interesting way to start this Grand Prix, as we're in the slipstream of Hulkenberg. A little bit of action ahead between the two Haas's, and we go in, dive it in deep, a bit of contact with Hulkenberg, but we get the move done. And now we're coming here with Magnussen. We're going to have a little look up the inside, but Hulkenberg races down both our insides. We go really wide, but we managed to swoop back in front of Nico Hulkenberg, so that is P14 for us for now. As now onto the next lap, we are now chasing Kevin Magnussen, who's chasing our teammate Albon. He's got a very nice run down the hangar straight into Stowe. Alongside is Magnussen. We run it a bit deep, and Magnussen is not able to make the move stick. So next lap, Albon and Grosjean going side by side through Stowe. Unbelievable racing, and Albon is able to get the move done. So maybe the Haas cars just struggling a little bit with their tyres, and Albon is able to push ahead. And now we here get a really nice run through Beckett's, through Chapel, and now onto the hangar straight. But the Haas with that Ferrari powered engine are trying to both have a look at my teammate Albon, but Grosjean going down the inside. Is he able to make it stick? Not quite. Albon holds on. Now Magnussen's having a look at Roman. We're going to go to the outside, and we're able to sneak just underneath Roman Grosjean. That would be a great move if we can pull off around the outside. Yes, we can, through the Vale and Club. So well done to us there. Good move around Roman Grosjean. Now we got Kevin Magnussen next, and he will also be looking to chase down Albon. See if Albon maybe is able to bridge a little bit of a gap to Magnussen to give him some breathing space. So following, let's see, we're in the DRS here, but we're pretty far back, so unlikely anything can happen. What about Magnussen? Oh, a bit of smoke here, and it's our teammate. It's Alex Albon. Albon, oh my god, his engine has blown up. I'm not sure what kind of component has failed, but something has failed on our teammate's car. That's very concerning. To see potential points finish Albon, who still hasn't scored points yet this year, gone like that. Anyway, later in the lap, onto the hangar straight now. With no DRS aided, Magnussen is an easy target for us to move into 11th place. And we get that done before the corner. And now our next ahead is Lucas Weber for 10th place. And moving on to the very next lap, it's taken a lap to catch up. So our pace, you can see in the race, is quite good here in this early stage, as we are making our way through the pack quite nicely, as we're now looking at the back of Lucas Weber for 10th place, and got a nice slipstream here, and a nice tow with the DRS. We're pretty far back, but late on the brakes. He turns in, hits us a little bit, but we were far enough up alongside to get the move done, as now we have Butler ahead, and you can see there's the Ferrari of Vettel ahead, and you can see now here the blue car of the Mercedes of Bottas, I believe it was Bottas, that had an issue there, and Vettel was going very slowly at this stage, and I was unsure as to why, but I believe I should have went back and had a look at the replays here, but he did break the front wingers. Here you go, Devon Butler around the outside of Sebastian Vettel, so Vettel down to 9th, the championship leader, having all sorts of dramas here at Silverstone. As we now move on to the end of lap 10, can we have a go into club? We're going to go deep on the brakes, but we're not quite close enough. And on to the next lap we go of this British Grand Prix. Vettel absolutely struggling with his Ferrari. This is not good for his championship right now. His lead will be decreasing with Leclerc in the lead. So, really commisery here for Sebastian Vettel. And can we make a move now down into... I can't remember what the corner name is, but turn 6. Can we make a move into turn 6? Not quite close enough. Unfortunately, now we come to the end of the lap and we're coming to the pit lane. Along is Vettel, along with Perez a little bit further ahead, and so is Devon Butler. So quite a scrap we have here in the pit lane between Toro Rosso, Ferrari, McLaren. Not really Force India or Racing Point because he's a little bit further ahead, and you can see that Sebastian Vettel is changing the front wing. He did have damage, and also it looks like a front wing waiting for Lucas Weber and Alfa Romeo. So that's not good news for his race, as now we get out of the pit lane and we are chasing down Devon Butler immediately for P8 in this Grand Prix. Vettel behind us, about 5 seconds behind in 9th, but he will be rapid now in a fixed Ferrari car as we now move with the DRS. This is a few laps because we came in at the end of lap 11. It's now lap 14, so it took us a couple of laps to catch up to Butler, but we are now able to make the move stick on the hanger straight just before Stowe, and with the DRS it is a simple move and a little bit of fight back from Butler, so we have to defend a little bit into club. But now we will go on to lap 15, chasing down the next McLaren in Lando Norris, who came out of the pit lane on the following lap in between us and Perez. So that will be quite the next target to catch up, and here we are, lap 17 now, and we've caught up. You can see Vettel still closing. Devon Butler is coming with us as well, so we are not pulling away from him. He's latched onto the back of us. Anyway, now with the DRS with Lando Norris, where you can see we're quite low on ERS. We're going to have to manage that in the last 8 laps after this one. And we make the move stick though on Lando Norris down the inside. A simple move again. It's very easy when you have the DRS and the AI don't have much to fight with. You can pull alongside. Now you can see moving on to lap 22, we've caught Perez, but we've got Vettel who's cleared both McLarens in that space behind us. Devon Butler's fallen a few seconds back, as you can see, but Lando Norris is still right there. Anyway, we've got DRS for 6th place Perez, and we've caught him quite nicely. Got the slipstream, DRS alongside, brake nice and deep into Stowe, and that is P6 for us for now. As you can see, Bottas is next ahead, but I don't think we'll be catching him today as he comes down the start-finish straight now. So the job was now to pull away from Vettel as much as we could before he got past Perez, but fortunately for us, he's through on Perez on the very next lap. So now we've got about a second and a half back to Vettel, and lap 25, and he's all over our rear end now, coming with a lap and a half to go. We'll go through to the finish from here, as going through left to right, left, right again. Great sequence of corners here. Maggots and Beckett's now through Chapel onto the hanger straight, and we haven't got much ERS left. We're going to have to manage that, put it into low, save as much as we can, but it doesn't matter. Vettel with DRS breezes past us with his high-powered Ferrari engine. We're just in that Honda engine, the worst power unit on the grid. We have a little look, but we're not close enough to go through at club. So now we've got one lap. We've got enough fuel to get through with a rich mix in the last lap. Vettel sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:31.0, while overtaking us. We didn't really hold him up too much, so you can just see the pace he has in that Ferrari car as we just follow him through. And in the DRS, we have a chance here. We go in the hot lap. We don't get a great exit out of the corner. The back end slides. That's going to cost us no chance down this straight now. We're going to just have to go on the hanger straights, our last opportunity. We have to really maximise these corners now. We're sticking with him, but pushing as hard as we can. But Vettel just too quick in the Ferrari car. As you can see, we've pulled away from Norris, who's actually overtaken Perez himself behind. So Lando capitalising on Sergio, using all the track here through Cops. We've run a little bit wide. So we stick in the DRS. We've got 5% left in the ERS. Not much at all. And use and maximise the track as Leclerc wins the Grand Prix. So these are important, crucial points for Vettel if he can hold on to them. And it looks like he will be able to, and not quite close enough, unfortunately. Not quick enough to hang with Sebastian Vettel today. He had a traumatic race, but he still manages to finish 6th ahead of us. We try everything we can, but we just don't have the car to compete with Vettel. So we come across the line to finish 7th in the British Grand Prix. Crofty, you got it right though. It's not been the best weekend for Sebastian Vettel. Loses quite a fair few points to Leclerc. So 17 points to be exact. Actually, he got the fast lap, so 16 points. We come home in the British Grand Prix to finish a brilliant 7th, I thought. It was a good race. We had good pace compared to the rest of the midfield, and we were able to clear them by the end of the race. Unfortunately for Albon, P20, a DNF after his failure early on in the race. And Daniel Ricciardo started last, did not make any progress in this race. Horrible weekend for Renault as Hulkenberg just beat the Williams cars and Ricciardo couldn't beat the Williams cars. So you can really see how this career mode is progressing. Renault really struggling at the minute. Now we have a look here at the standings, and Vettel still holding on to his lead over Leclerc. Hamilton is in with a shout, but at this stage, that's all you could say. It's probably just those three at the minute fighting. Verstappen and Bottas are a little bit too far back. Bottas 55 points back. Verstappen 62 points back. We are 9th in the championship, currently on 22 points, which I think is a good return from the first 10 races. So after the race here, we are making a development upgrade to the power unit. We need more power on the straight, as simple as that. You could see when we were in those trains, we were, and the other cars had DRS, or even Sebastian, they're just pulling away from us or overtaking us easily on the straight, so we still lack a bit of power. New gearbox for the next race, as that our gearbox finished the 6 race limit, so that will be handy for us in the next race. So that's the episode today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next race at the German Grand Prix. Goodbye.